In a small foggy town in Oregon, mornings were always cold. For a little girl named Emma Parker, they were also the best part of the day. She'd sit by the window with her mom, a warm cup of hot cocoa in her hands, and they'd talk about everything. Her mom often said, "A warm drink can heal a cold heart," and those words became a part of Emma's soul. Fast forward a few years, and life wasn't so cozy anymore. At 26, Emma was living in a cramped apartment, drowning in a sea of bills. She worked 2 jobs to make ends meet: a cashier by day, a waitress by night. Her life was a blur of early mornings and late nights. She was exhausted, broke, and lost. But amidst the chaos, there was one thing that brought her a spark of joy: coffee. The rich aroma of roasting beans, the simple comfort of a warm mug, the smiles on people's faces as they took their first sip, it was magic. Every night, long after her shifts ended, Emma would sit at her kitchen table with an old, worn-out notebook. It was her secret world. In it, she built her dream piece by piece. She sketched out logos, jotted down names for a cafe, and brainstormed unique coffee flavors. She even curated playlists for a shop that existed only in her mind. To anyone else, it might have looked like daydreaming, but for Emma, it was a promise she was making to herself. One evening, her best friend Julia stopped by and found her hunched over the notebook. "Still dreaming about that coffee shop?" Julia asked with a warm smile. Emma let out a tired laugh. "Yeah, maybe someday. When I can actually afford it." Julia's expression turned serious. She looked Emma straight in the eye and said, "Emma, dreams don't wait for the perfect time. You make the time perfect for your dreams." Those words echoed in Emma's mind for weeks. They were a wake-up call. She decided she couldn't wait any longer. She took the first real, terrifying step. With her meager savings of just $2,000, she bought a second-hand espresso machine online. It wasn't new or fancy, but it worked. And that was enough. Her tiny apartment kitchen became her laboratory. She started experimenting, mixing flavors that most people wouldn't think to combine. Cinnamon with rich cocoa, sweet caramel with a hint of sea salt, and even a delicate blend of lavender and honey. She had her friends try her creations, and their reactions were incredible. One of them took a sip and said, "Emma, this coffee tastes like happiness." That was all the encouragement she needed. The following weekend, she set up a small folding table outside her apartment building. She hand-painted a simple sign: "Emma's Brews Coffee with a Smile." At first, only a few curious neighbors stopped by, but Emma poured her heart into every cup. She remembered every customer's name and their favorite order. She'd write little messages of encouragement on their cups, like, "Have a great day," or "You're doing amazing." She wasn't just selling coffee, she was selling warmth and connection. Soon, word of mouth began to spread. The girl with the delicious coffee and the kind heart became a neighborhood favorite. Then, one day, something completely unexpected happened. A reporter from a local newspaper was walking by, drawn in by the small crowd. He tried her coffee, chatted with Emma, and was moved by her story. The next week, a small article appeared in the paper with the headline, "The Girl Who Serves Positivity in a Cup." That article changed everything. Suddenly, her little stand was swamped. People from all over town came to try her coffee. Emma was selling out before noon every single day. The overwhelming support was a clear sign it was time to go bigger. With a small business loan and a flood of support from her newfound community, Emma rented a tiny, neglected corner shop downtown. It was a huge leap of faith. She spent weeks painting the walls herself, hanging cozy string lights, and putting up a sign that read, "Warm Hearts Cafe," a tribute to her mom's words. On opening day, her stomach was in knots. What if no one shows up? What if this was all a huge mistake? She took a deep breath, walked to the door, and flipped the sign to open. When she looked up, her heart stopped. There was a line of people stretching down the block, all waiting patiently to support her. Warm Hearts Cafe quickly became the soul of the neighborhood. People fell in love with the cozy atmosphere, Emma's genuine kindness, and the feeling that every cup was made just for them. She even started a pay-it-forward wall, where customers could prepay for a coffee for someone who couldn't afford one. It became the beating heart of her cafe, a symbol of the community she had built. Months turned into years. Emma's story of starting with just a dream and a secondhand machine went viral online. People traveled from other towns and even other states just to visit her cafe. Eventually, she opened a second location and then a third. The dream she had nurtured in her old notebook had blossomed into a beloved brand. One evening, Emma sat by the window of her original cafe, now buzzing with laughter and the familiar aroma of coffee. She watched as a young girl approached her timidly. "Miss Emma," the girl said, "I want to open my own bakery someday." "But I don't think I can," Emma smiled, the same warm smile she gave every customer. She handed the girl a cup of hot cocoa and said softly, "You don't need to have it all figured out. Just start with what you have and never, ever stop believing in your dream." As the girl's face lit up with a newfound hope, Emma realized her journey had come full circle. It was never just about the coffee. It was about showing others that the biggest dreams can brew from the smallest beginnings. So what's your notebook dream? Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start today with whatever you have. Your story is waiting to be written. Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more content that warms the heart. See you next time.